Pogba will leave it for Brentford. He strikes. Oh, it's a goal! Staying on his feet this time. Look, they went for Martial. Lovely touch by Fernandez. Cavani! Rashford all the way across goal. What a finish!
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Olia, we back to winning ways.
Finally.
Right? Yeah, finally we back to massive 3 points, Olia. Massive 3 points. But here now, Olia, Brentford fought us hard. Watch me. You can't underestimate. Yeah, you can't underestimate any team in this Premiership. And I mean, Brentford play a kind of football that you had to admire. You see Tony, Ivan Tony, and who's the next fellow who played with Ivan Tony on top?
I can't pronounce that name. But...
Bueno.
And listen, them fellas good. The physical, they have grit, and they have quality.
They can hold up the ball, and they can hold up the ball.
Yeah, them fellas good. And you know, it is feel and I think I mentioned it too, by it is feel like Manchester United could only give us a half. We can't get a full 90 from Man United. So it's either we good in the first half and rubbish in the second half, or vice versa. You know, and
now Ralph, that changing. It's only a matter of time on that Ralph, and that
so
going
far,
to change.
It's
going to change earlier.
So far, earlier, if we got in the first half, we guarantee to be rubbish in the second half.
Correct.
Today we was rubbish in the first half, and we was good in the second half. Because if we honest, right, we lucky that we didn't go into that first half 3-0 down or something, eh?
Thank God for the gear, boy. Thank God for that.
Give the raise. Get the gear a raise.
The saves wasn't no spectacular saves, but I think the chances was clear chances, you know?
Yeah.
That another striker was putting them thing away. But it was more or less routine for the hair type saves. But on another day, like 2-0 going on in the first half. Yeah.
So here now, earlier, Ragnick how you walk cut out. But I mean, as Nico say, and Nico looking at the positives, you know, we seeing things happening, we seeing it bit by bit. I tell you, the man do 3 years.
Like big chunks, boy.
He only had 6 months, eh? You know, so let me see how much he could do. Right, let me get some comments in before we move around and give you, opening thoughts, right? Hey, Richard. Welcome, man. He's saying Maguire is blind. Good night, bro.
As soon as he come on, and
don't forget to like and share, the podcast. We want to get more people on the inside, right? Because we celebrating a win here, and after the second half, I could say was well deserved. You know, Jody, blessed night to you too, but a good game. It was entertainment. Give it time, Reams. It will change. I hear you.
I agree with Jody. I agree with you, Jody. 100%.
Dream Chaser, thanks for joining, man. Good night to you. He's saying better finishing from Brentford and we'll be there. Yeah. Thank God for De Gea though. We was not lucky. De Gea did what he's being paid to do. All right, fair enough. Everson, good night to you too. What he's saying, Glory, great result today. We taking that. How you mean?
Yeah. Hey, I think about that result, eh? You think about that comment, Reem, you know? Normally when Reem come on the live, he does be like, fellas, here we win, but upon you have a vibe today, boy.
I think it's because Martial was on the bench.
No, but here I'm telling you, right? Here I'm telling you, Nico. If we get the first half in the second, if the performance of the second half was in the first half, if it was, I'm put it like this, if it was reversed and we didn't end off on a sour note like how we started, my mood might not be how it is, but we ended the game better, right? And I think that's what Hammer, a little more encouraged, Arun, thanks for joining. Devendra, thanks for joining, man. Devendra saying 16 wins in a row according to Jody. Where will I get that stats from, boy?
I don't know, Devendra, let me know where check that. Let's
say,
break that up.
He said according to Jody. So I don't know. Jody saying I was expecting to see Martial get here now, earlier. And I tell Lion, Martial only make that squad because Ragnick was embarrassed. Martial was never going to play a minute today. Right?
Hey, what's better? I might have come on and do something, you never know. Under pressure, you might not get under pressure, if he was down, you never know he might have come on. And Ralph would have tell him, go and prove you want to play for United.
David Curtin, thanks for joining, man. Good night, good night.
Good night.
King Unruly Pre, he said we're missing quality in the middle, big time. Yeah, no doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah.
So, fellas, tell me, 3 points in the bag earlier. The second half performance was a breath of fresh air. Very green. Team sheets and general, and we could go into the game one time.
Yeah,
Christy.
I will go. I said I will
all
go.
right,
So
Nico,
nobody
you go
else they
through.
want to go. Yeah. Again, Ralph, all the way. That's fair. You see when I see that team shit, I say Reem can't tell me nothing about Ralph. Nothing. Right? Rashford and Maguire, right? Again on the bench. Then that, for me alone, that's change. That's change
Yeah.
because in the past, even if Maguire was rested for the one game, we'd have said all right, well, Maguire will come back the next game because we conceded 2 goals down in the dregs against Aston Villa, right? So that would be a perfect response to say, well, here what? And we bring back in Maguire because if Maguire was there, we would not concede those 2 goals in the end. But Ralph stuck to his guns and full respect because of that, right? So seeing again Lindelof and Varane in the back was again excellent to see. On the wing backs, we know well Wan-Bissaka out ill, right? So Dalot again coming in, that was expected more or less. Tellez again was solid. In the middle of the pack, again no real surprises. But on top of the field, again, as we would have called, and everybody in this panel would have called for Ilanga. Ilanga had a very strong game against Aston Villa. And you know what, Ralph say here, what? Go and do it again. And another day, and I was saying we seeing change because on another day, Rashford is going to come back in on that side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Rashford is going to come back in, but Ralph say no, you show me something. Go and show it again, and watch what the result, what it resulted in, right? Ilanga scoring the opening goal, So all kudos to Ralph. I think he got the team sheet right. He got the changes right today, and at the end of the day, I think the result was deserving. Overall, I think the result was deserving because Brentford just play on the counter because everybody know we got bad pass, and as bad pass is counter in we skin, and we having problems with that. So outside of that, Brentford did do nothing, right? We just give them all the opportunities, and they made the best of it without scoring, right? So,
Nico,
for me,
I find
you
your
actually,
your assessment of Brentford real suspect.
Brentford, as the physical, that's more physical than us in the middle of the field, and we know that, right?
If you could
Go
watch
ahead.
that game in that first half, right, and
Uh-huh.
tell me they here save us,
Right.
right? Because there were about 3 or 4 big saves they here to pull off. How you could just tell
Now
me
about
Brentford
two,
do
only
nothing?
2. Brentford do nothing. We get them all.
Watch it back now, man.
Ream.
Watch it back.
Brentford they
now,
build
man.
nothing. We make mistakes.
Oh,
We bad
God,
pass
Nico.
down. Everything Brentford get, we bad pass to get them that. Right? Brentford they deserve nothing. But anyway, right? That was my thing.
all right. David just said here, he said Jody predicting 16 wins from in a row from tonight. So that means we win in the league.
Oh, right.
Okay, win the league.
Only don't forget to like the video, don't forget to share. Right? Jody said I was a bit disappointed in Ilanga's first half performance. Bruno and McT was brilliant despite Bruno making a few short passes. Dwayne, good night, man. Thanks for joining. He's saying here Lindelof won basically every ball in the air along with Dalot and Varane. It's really a breath of fresh air, boy. Big respect to Brentford.
How Maguire getting back into that back four? Eh?
Nah, I ain't seen that happening.
No
I ain't seen that
way.
happening.
The one was Saka loss.
Nah, well, oh God.
Hey, watch my little wicked boy. Wicked boy. A real wicked boy.
Yeah, well, they're wicked. Yo. Oh, Lord.
Anyway, go through, Lion.
Yeah, well, I think the issue we having is that we so stuck on the past with Ole, thinking that men will just come back in the side just like that. That we anticipating it to happen now, right? But I was looking forward for Ilanga to start based on the performance in the last game, right? And I was really happy to see him. I was happy to see that backline also because the only person who really made mistakes in the last game was Varane. But I mean, he's a world-class defender, and you have to play these players to let them continue to get out the rust, right? So I was happy with the team sheet. I think McTominay, he gave us a good shift today. So the next game you could expect for him to go back to the normal ways.
Revert the type. As we would say, revert the type.
Yeah, but
Yeah, he would do a factory set, right? So Ilanga, well, he didn't have a good game as the last one because this is a more physical team and he had to put out more effort. But kudos to him for scoring. And the general play of the game was much better, more encouraging than the last game. Even though we gave Brentford a little more encouragement in the first half. But
We gave.
second
I
half
like
we
that.
came out
I like
and-
that way you say, Lion. We gave Brentford encouragement.
But this is what United has been doing all the time. We're giving away bad passes. We making teams play. Right? We not giving today we more control the game. We pass the ball. We had more control of the game. First time in a long while I see the possession start so high. Right? So we had a little more control in the game today. So it wasn't a perfect performance, but it was pleasing to see that we had a better performance today.
yeah. Before I come to your film, I just get doing on the inside here. He's saying here, when I saw Maguire and Rashford on the bench twice in a row, that is what you call change. Because with all the men in a rut and still starting. Yeah, no doubt.
Exactly, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phil.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel a bit more relaxed seeing Varane and Lindelof in my back four because Harry Maguire is a liability, right? I see Victor Lindelof growing in confidence because Varane is next to him. It's almost like when Varane was playing next to Maguire, he had to carry like his own weight as well as Maguire's weight as well too, right? And on the last show, I discussed that having Dalot is a breath of fresh air on the right. Gave away the ball a lot today, but he was still good going forward, right? One guy that stood out for me today was Scott McTominay, right? I've been a very huge critic of him, but Scott McTominay was the reason for 2 of those 3 goals today. Broke up play and started the transition from breaking up that play to giving it to Bruno or even to CR to chest down as well too, right? One thing I also mentioned, I think it was 2 weeks ago when Alanga made a substitution. It was Wolves or Newcastle.
Yeah,
Like
Wolves. I think when he came on,
Yeah. So
I
what
think it was the Aston Villa Cup game. No, I think it was the Cup game, the Aston Villa Cup game.
Yeah.
He came on and he looked bright.
Right. Now, when we had the All In All United stream after that, I told people straight, we've been giving players on this team chances week in, week out when they play crap. I don't care if Elanga plays crap or has a 10 out of 10 game, play him the next game. Okay? And if he plays crap the next game, play him the next game. I want to see a bit of consistency, right? But it worked out in our favor because Elanga's balling. Elanga didn't do well in the first half today, but Elanga was so composed to take that pass from Fred and then head it into goal, right? One thing that stood out today is that all goals came from academy players. If you realize,
Yeah.
all goals came from academy players. And I'll end off by saying that Marcus Rashford getting a goal, kudos to him. That brings his confidence up, but I don't think that warrants him walking straight back into the first team as yet.
Correct.
I hope not.
I agree. I
I
agree.
hope not.
Because Greenwood would have scored and Elanga scored today. Right? So to me, it have no reason to change that front three.
Let the players get back the fire in the belly, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop
Because
them.
you get the feeling that it was too easy on that Olina, boy could be ringing, putting stinkers week in, week out, and they know the spot guaranteed. You know?
For Ronaldo had to sit. He had to sit down today.
Yeah.
And he get mad, but that's part of it.
Like
Yeah.
that's it. And Nice Ralph making a big boy decision because of course he
Yeah.
know, but what that was the right decision because you now come injury, come off an injury, right? We leading 2-0. And to me, that was the right substitution to make.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because Rashford came on and look, Rashford got the goal, and to me, Ronaldo would not have been in that position, and he would not have the pace to even get in that position to score.
Correct.
Right? So
He'd have been more
excellent
central.
substitution.
More
Yeah, of course,
central
excellent
position.
substitution.
Boy,
Yeah.
and just to touch on Simeon's comment with Varane, I know I mentioned it, but even watching Maguire in defense, I used to watch the games like this here. Right with Varane, I know I've been this here with Varane. I literally sit back in my chair. And I'm like, okay, cool.
You know, one thing I could admire about Varane don't have to turn back. He could use his left foot too and make a pass.
Exactly.
Maguire,
Correct.
That's something
Maguire,
Alex Telles can't do. Alex Telles only got left foot. I swear, if
Yeah.
Alex Telles had a right foot, he'll be able to pass the ball to different players. Whenever Alex Telles has the ball on his left foot, he either pass him back or he's looking to cross to whoever's in the box, hit and hold.
Yeah.
Right. So
we talking about Elanga because and I think Phil made a reference to a very interesting point. You know that all the 3 goals came from the academy. Elanga, Greenwood, and Rashford. So and even after the game now, this is what Ragnick had to say about Elanga. He said Elanga was almost on his way out on loan. And I told him, you will not go out on loan, you will stay here. He has developed in training. So Elanga was on his way out earlier. But I think, and a couple of people were talking about that particular training session that he really impressed Ragnick. And that's when he went in, and I think he started against young boys. And from then till now, Elanga hasn't really looked back. And from the performances that we see now, he will form a very, very integral part. Providing that, the Rashfords and the Sanchos and the Greenwoods don't kick into a different kind of form. And I see Elanga playing a very, very big part, until the season's end. But the point I want to make is, the question I want to ask, what do you all think Elanga's coming into the team, what do you all think
Breakthrough.
that says? Yeah, the breakthrough, thanks. The breakthrough into the team says about our academy and for those in the academy.
that you got a chance if you put your head down and you follow what the first teamers are doing, plus put in your extra work. The sky's the limit, right? Like at the end of the day, getting into United's first team on the bench, training with the first players, it's all good, but staying there is another thing, right? Because you can get into the first team, but there's so many players of the past who have gotten into United's first team and have just fallen by the wayside at other clubs, right? That your Danny Welbecks, your Adnan Januzajs, your Ravel Morrisons, right? Those are just some examples of players who broke into United's first team, were looking bright in the academy and then fell by the wayside, right? What Elanga must do is keep his head up, but also be focused, right? Always pat yourself on the back and say, what, today was a good day, or what can I do to improve for the next game, right? And this is going to send hope not only for himself but also for future academy players. If Anthony Elanga can make it, if Marcus Rashford can make it, if Mason Greenwood can make it, I can make it as well too. So
Yeah.
For me, I don't know if you want to read some of them comments.
Yeah. Well, Callum on the inside. Callum, thanks for joining, buddy.
Callum.
Dwayne saying here, Dalot, Telles, Lindelof, Varane, no English defense, and it's a massive difference when three. Yeah. No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, the only English person on the field today was Greenwood, right?
Yeah. No. Elanga is Swedish,
Elanga
right?
Swiss, yeah.
Right. Joey saying Brentford manager is a sore loser with his post-match interview, but I kind of think he wasn't too wrong, I mean,
He totally
feelings.
When your team had so much opportunities in the first half and you don't win, you're gonna be disappointed. That's all
Yeah,
I
but
see.
you don't talk like that as
But-
a manager.
Yeah, but you
Don't
ain't
talk
see
like
it.
that.
But they may earn nothing, boy.
You
We
sound
just
like-
give them everything. We
You
give
sound
them
like
all
a
the
fat
chances.
match team manager.
Jesus. Call me inside. Tell me if them deserve any of them chances they get it.
Callum
Jeez.
say he ain't see the game.
Oh.
but he say, let me say, I ain't see the game, but Fred isn't a
Oh.
Brazilian, right?
Fred.
Nah,
As
Fred
much
set
as
up.
Fred
Fred
bad
didn't play
pass
bad today, you
again,
know.
he didn't play bad, but the bad
bad.
passes on them, my
He had some bad
goodness.
passes, but Fred broke up some crucial plays and kept the ball simple in some aspects of the game today. So Fred
Yeah.
did give away the ball on some occasions, which had me shouting, but he kind of made there was more good than bad today.
Yeah.
It was not like the good outweighed the bad, but there was more good than bad today for Fred.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he created the assist for longer.
You see that comment there? That's the next player to come in. That is the next
Yeah,
player
Kevin-
they're looking at.
Akeem saying here, Ilanga. Hey, Kevin, thanks for joining. He said Alanga only the first. Ralph seemed to have big plans for Hannibal as well. All right, yeah.
Oh boy, I would love to see him, boy.
And you see, anyway,
Yeah.
Arun saying, what you all thought about Fred bicycle kick?
And that's what
And
that's
this
what
was
he's
telling
for
you.
Fred.
And this was saying, you telling me that what Fred tried here, right? We just give back the ball to Brentford. They play for that. We just give them that. Yeah, well, take a touch pass from overhead and let attack again. This is mad, it's crazy. Right?
I see
Then-
Red was on the
Yeah.
inside as well. He's saying here, Ragnick is a genius, sarcastic so I see Red like, yeah, much of a Ragnick fan. All right?
He's a Ole boy.
Yeah. I know Riyadh did like Ollie.
Love Ole.
Jody's saying, yo, I can only comment on the game I saw, so please pass me the more clinical team. I know. Okay, I think he's talking to Riyadh Day. Callum have a thread of comments. He's saying, don't do we that about Fred. King on the really pre saying, yeah, Pogba coming for Fred's spot. Ralph, like,
Yeah, straight swap.
Yeah,
Swap.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I would
just wanna
like.
get
I
back on
can't
the-
wait to see that. Though.
I just want to get back on the comment that we were talking about with the academy players, because
Right.
somebody mentioned here about Hannibal Kevin Williams, so it's showing that it's a hope for the academy lads. Go through now.
Yeah, well, we might as always follow the academy, and we have a lot of talent in the academy, especially from even under 18s coming up. And you would have known I would have had a keen eye on Greenwood, and I would have told you, hey, it's have a man in the academy, he's very bad, there's something to break through and it happened. Ilanga, right? A lot, So I think the academy, is doing a lot for the players. When you spot the gem in the academy, they just really push them. It's just if they could take that push now. As long as they spot the gem on the 23 level, it does give you opportunity. Same thing with Shorty, right? You see, you have quality. You push him, right? I don't know if it's because all you want him to sign a contract, that they make him sign the contract at the first team and then
That's
put him
all.
aside again. Yeah, and put him aside again. But you saw it with Chung. Chung was talent in the academy and he got his chance. Gomez was talent in the academy. He got his chance, but it didn't work out. So at the end of the day, as Phil would have rightfully said, it is one thing to get there. It's another thing to stake your claim and to stay there now. And that does be, the aspect where it's few and far in between. Go ahead. You want to say something?
You mentioned a name there, right? And this guy, he came through the academy and he didn't seem to stick with Ollie. But you figure because of his style of play, he'll have a chance with Ragnick, and I'm talking about Tai Chong.
I don't know, boy, because it's about consistency too. And to
That's
me,
a
he
hard
doesn't.
one.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be a consistent player. And to me, it like he will give you maybe one good cross out of three. And at United that may not be good enough now. We know the standards right now are that high, but he doesn't seem that type of consistent player. If you look at Ilanga, if you check Ilanga today, how much she has struggled the first half. How much time Ilanga would have given away that ball? Not much. He would have held up that ball very good, and even if he couldn't go forward, he was laying it back, and he was getting it right most of the times. Chung, for some reason, I don't see that. I don't see that level of consistency. right?
And I think,
Too
I
many
think
players ahead
Anderson,
of Chong.
yeah, and I think Anderson agreeing with you here. He's saying Chong is very inconsistent. Thanks for joining,
Yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Not
But
too many
again,
players.
what Ilanga would have showed, right? And the same thing, all try to beat me, all comedy great, all kind of thing, is that when you get your chance, you have to take it.
Yeah.
And Ilanga would have gotten his chance, and everybody in this panel say, "Nah, we need to see Ilanga again." When um Van der Beek got his chance, I can't remember nobody in this panel say, "Boy, I want to see Van der Beek again." Other
No,
than the
but I
time when he
think
came on
no,
against Watford, right, and he gave a little cameo, and then we say, "Ah, we want to see
no,
Donny
but
again." And then when we
Nico,
see him the next game, he was like, "Nah, he ready."
but Nico, I just want to go back and quote what Phil say.
Right.
Phil say, when Ilanga gets his chance, even if he play rubbish, I
Play
want
him
to see
again.
him again. Play
Yeah,
him
but that
again
was
for the next
but that wasn't
5
the
games.
case. But
No,
that
but
was
the
not
point
the
we
case.
making is players need opportunities. You understand? To show a certain level of consistency. Because just like the rest of the team,
No, but
Ilanga
Reem,
cannot come next
that could be
game and play rubbish, and then he would not get nothing again, and then we will not know. So all
we
I'm
don't
saying
know
is you
what.
need
No,
to.
because if you listen to Ilanga, right? Ilanga said in his interview, I don't know if you listened to the MUTV app, right? That he gives 150% in training. And he said if you give the effort in training majority of the time, he said the coach will give you a chance.
Yeah.
And that is why he is getting his chance. This is what I was telling earlier. Van der Beek is not given what the coach wants to see in training. As much as he will be given his 150%, is not
It's
the
not enough.
150% that the coach wants now. And I think
And that's why I
yeah,
was
all of
saying,
yeah.
that's why I was saying, Nico, he probably just not good enough.
Yeah.
I not seeing him in training, but it has to be
Has to
something.
be that.
I can't agree with Van der Beek not being good enough. The man was one of the best players in Europe. In Europe, I'm not even talking about one of the best players in the Dutch league when he was playing for Ajax. The guy at times was one of the best players in Europe, and this was a guy that was around 21, 20 years old, right?
Well, maybe in the system, he played in, he looked good in that system. I guess with that system, the Premier League system, maybe just not suiting it. Premier League maybe not suiting it.
I'm not gonna lie. If Ragnick or whoever's the next coach brings in Hannibal and Hannibal replaces Donny van der Beek, I would have missed Donny van der Beek. Sorry.
Nobody missing him right now.
But it's an interesting.
Nobody missing him now.
No, but here we're going on, right? Jody have an interesting question here, right? He's saying here, Nico, Ilanga only get a chance because Rashford out of form. Watch and see. But let me ask you something, right, Nico?
And I could challenge that. Jody, I
But
could
now so
challenge
we
that.
have to take a chance.
And not only that, Scott McTominay, Fred, even Bruno has been out of form. And
Donny van der Beek
has
get a chance, boy.
He couldn't get a chance in front of them. So what is he telling me? What you telling me? Go ahead.
And I still have other players to play besides Ilanga.
That's it.
He could still play Martial. He could still bring Sancho on the left, play Greenwood on the right.
Yeah, he get in play because he out of form. That's okay. That's a football cycle. There isn't a player that is in form for 38 games. So
I think the
but
issue
Rashford was getting a chance though. He was playing.
For me, the issue with Van der Beek is more of a kind of stylistic thing than quality and ability, right? Because when you look at how Man United play football, we don't seem to play a possession-based football. And if you were to put Van der Beek in our midfield to try to play possession football alongside Fred and McTominay, he go stick out like a sore thumb. Because them fellas ain't gonna be there to read the kind of intellect and IQ with a passing game that you want. So I figure it's more of a kind of circumstance rather than saying, well, hey, Van der Beek good enough to start in the midfield for Manchester United, but the thing about it is if we put he in there and them other two boys can't joke with him, then the midfield ain't gonna be as cohesive, as tight as you want. So you know what? Let me put two hustlers who go run up and down and make tackle. Let me put two of them in the midfield. Because I don't see how you could have people, because they talk about, some reporter talk about, or journalists, talk about Donny van de Beek doesn't have the physicality for the Premier League. But then it have men like David Silva, Bernardo Silva. So I don't understand. It has to come down to the it had to come
The
down to the
different
way Man
class of
United want to
player
play.
they're talking about.
No, but what I'm saying, it comes down for me to the kind of football Man United playing that is not friendly or kind to technical players. Go ahead.
But he should have be able to play in this formation we play today. Right? As another number 8, right? I would think so.
Here, tune, no, right? Because I got to touch a little bit on Scott McTominay, right? I asked a couple of people and they haven't answered me as yet. I say, how come Scott McTominay is good enough to play in the midfield for Manchester United, but he isn't good enough to play as a midfielder for Scotland? And I know
That's
Manchester
always
United,
my big question, man.
and I know Manchester United is better than
That's a
Scotland.
big thing.
Everybody
That is a
just say
big
from the
thing.
everybody just say from the
That's
time we
crazy.
get better midfielders or people who could possess the ball, chances are we football will change. But I telling you, right now quality players are a victim of our inability with the amount of players that we have that can't do it to play any kind of possession-based football. Look, today it's counter-attacking football. We were playing all the goals we scored were counter-attacking goals. Bar the Ilanga goal, all the goals we score is counter-attacking goals. Why we can't possess the ball and break down our team? Joking it. In the first half, when we had a little amount of possession, we were just passing the ball box across, back across. Nothing to say.
And across, boys.
Yeah, nothing to say. Well, hey, I've seen women moving in the spaces, making quick 1-2s. You're not seeing that from Manchester United, right? And I am telling you, Donny van de Beek is a victim because he would have been the one to do that. But for it to work out, it had to have other people on that wavelength up here. And you're not going to get that from Fred. You're not going to get that from McTominay. So I just feel that is the situation as opposed to all the other rubbish excuses you're giving about why he's not playing.
Yeah, Callum is. I know we have some comments, but Callum is a coach, right? And that possession and rotation of the ball, right? I just see it as tiring the opposition because if you played football, right, and we say the other team have possession and you only had to be running down, man, running. At some point, right, you just get tired, and at some point that team could penetrate, right? I don't know if that has been the tactic. Okay, we're not seeing our open. We continue to recycle it until they tire, until we get open. I don't know if that is the tactic. I don't know if that is the tactic that teams of like we say Manchester United standard should be playing. But to me, that's how it has looked to me now. I don't know if any comments have anything about that.
Yeah, it does happen. It does happen like that sometimes.
We'll just get some comments on the on guys. Don't forget to like and share. Right, we have 17 watching. We appreciate it. We really do. Right, but we want more people to get in on the discussion here at All in All United. Right, so like and share. All right. Dwayne saying here. So then Ragnick lying when he said that Beek does train well. Then yeah. Hey, Ragnick is a liar.
No, the man is lying. The man is
a
lying.
liar.
The man saying the man trying hard. If I trying hard, that don't mean it's good enough for you. I give him my all, but that don't mean that's good enough for you. Right? And I could come and say, by Reem trying, he training real hard, but that training hard that's not good enough for me. When the man trying hard.
As I said before, I believe why I say just now in terms of Donny van de Beek just not fitting because he's the only one of his kind, and he
Yeah, but to that players, he can knock the ball out on the team, man.
Who?
He can't do that with Bruno. He can't do that with Ronaldo.
So you can do that with Pogba. I don't say you feel you could do that with Pogba. So if you when Pogba come back, he can answer it.
But this is what I'm telling you because of how no, but understand what I'm saying. It could because of how whoever in charge, their philosophy and mentality wired, then they don't seem to value constructive possession, recycling possession, and moving it up the field. They don't see. I have never seen Oli do it. I've never seen Ragnick do it. They seem to fancy high octane, get the ball up, pressure high, run up and down. If you have stamina and you're not strong, then you can't make my team. And that is what I see from these kind of guys.
So if you even look at today's game against Brentford, how you think big game with a suit a game like today?
No, what I mean, right? You see, and you're still missing my point. You
Yeah.
can't
Understand what you're
fit.
saying.
You can't fit big skill sets in how we want to play because it will not work. So I'm going
Right.
back to the philosophy of Manchester United and how we, because every time from back to Oli and even now with Ragnick, all I hear in press conferences is work hard. And none of these things not important, but I hearing work hard, strength, energy, and you're barely hearing about the tactical, technical,
Right.
you know, things that you want to see. Because when I watch Manchester City play, look at the kind of players they have on the field.
And Daddy name was gonna call. You think he'd a look a
Man, we could
superstar in
make
Man
him that
City team?
side. So.
You think he'd be a
I
superstar
think
in
so.
that team?
I don't think he'll be a superstar, but I'm telling you, he'll get more minutes. He'll get plenty more minutes. We're not asking
barely get
Donny
minutes in
we're
that
not,
team.
we're not asking for Donny van de Beek to come and be a superstar, but we're just asking the man to get minutes. And the reason why Donny van de Beek is not getting minutes is because the team don't play for him or play
But
his style.
I want to
He had to
see
be a
him.
superhero. If he had a guy
No, but I telling you, you put
I want
Donny
to see
van,
my.
you
I
put
want to see my
Donny,
next team in the Premier League.
you put
Honestly.
Donny van de Beek in City. Donny van de Beek not gonna start every game, but I'm telling you, he will play a lot more than he played for Man United because that style will suit his skill set.
Correct.
But he was never linked with City, so you don't even know. Normally, that's here a player linked with a team.
Pep watch him and Pep and all sin now.
Pep probably just wasn't watching. That is all.
Pep not watching.
It's a player that you don't need at a point in no, but where's the sense you buying a player that you don't need?
He didn't need Grealish.
Who said he didn't need Grealish?
But he didn't need Grealish.
All is saying he didn't need
Only Pep know what he needs.
Grealish. You all know
I
he's not
agree.
Aguero. He wanted Kane.
He wanted Kane and he settled for Grealish because Grealish is a big English name.
Yeah.
Let me just get some comments here. Simeon saying here, if Donny not good enough, sell him and get someone good enough.
I find so.
I agreed. 100%.
You all know everything is a matrix at Man United. Alright? It's not that easy. If it was that easy, I think they'd do that. Kevin Williams saying here, thing is he is backup for Bruno and Bruno don't miss games.
Bruno-
Nah. No. And that
He's
comment.
not even backing up for no Bruno.
He back up for nobody. Nobody
Bruno
back
get
up for.
five yellows and Van de Beek still even start.
The man him started the cup game. Come on.
we treated Donny van de Beek and John. Van de Beek.
He go play against
man.
Middlesbrough though.
Nah,
think
no,
so?
he ain't played against
He
Borough.
go play against
Pogba
He
coming
have
back.
full mind. If
Hey,
he ain't play
Pogba
against
coming back.
Middlesbrough, if he ain't play against Middlesbrough, well, he'll never play
Pogba
for
coming
United
back.
again.
Pogba coming back. Where he going and play?
He might play
he's going
he might play as a 8.
He going
With
for down the
Pogba.
pecking. He
Watch
going for down the pecking line, boy.
Yeah, Vincent Ream correct the man ability and football IQ way better than Fred, but it's down to the style of play. Yeah, and that's what Fred and McTominay suit. Right?
Yeah,
from,
but
the time a Jokes manager come in Man United, he can see.
No, but
hell.
I'm telling you,
But
we
that's what
talking
them
so
is real
much.
rubbish.
We talking so much about IQ, but sometimes a good footballer does raise players level around them too. So
Oh God!
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
saying
But
Fred is a
what's
Guyanese and all kind of thing, and they talk about raise levels.
no, I just saying players level is raised to a certain standard. But they have a,
No,
If he was good
player.
enough, he'd have out Fred already. He'd have out Fred already if he was good enough. Alright, there you go.
Jody saying Nico operating just like Ollie. He have his favorites and he have business with other people.
That is not true, Joe. Hey, that is not true.
Callum saying, Phil, actually Scotty is much more effective for Scotland as a centre back because their lack of quality. He can make
You can't make
them
that
midfield.
Scotland
Yeah,
got
but
Billy. Scotland got Stuart Armstrong, Billy Gilmore, John McGinn.
yeah.
Well,
Phil,
yeah, there's a
You
tough
can't
man.
have
yeah, Callum, I don't think Scott McTominay making that midfield.
So my
He
question
used to play at first, right?
My question still stands: why is he good enough to make Man United's midfield, but not Scotland's midfield? Come on.
Well, it's best we play him as a centre back.
Ahead of who? Varane? No.
Nah. He can't make the neither. He got to
Can't
fight
make
up
it
with
up
Phil
with
Jones.
Maguire.
He got to fight up with Phil Jones and Maguire on the bench.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Hey, DeAndre Ritchie, thanks for joining, man. Good night to you too, all the way from the Barbados. Yeah, Anderson. Anderson saying, when the new coach comes in, how many players in midfield will actually be kept? I don't know, nah.
I actually hope we change that whole midfield.
Yeah, we need quality in our
Need
midfield,
to.
boy.
I want us to, I mean, I don't know if it's on the cards or not. I just want us to start to play a better brand of football. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I want. I want to see we jokes the ball nice. I don't want to see we getting dominated by Tom, Dick, and Harry. Right?
Yeah.
Good night, all. Friends, better Brazilian. How you doing?
Oh gosh.
Hey, the man living, boy. The man eating our food, boy.
Callum.
Yeah, my friend. Yes,
You
my
have to
friend.
invite Fred and the academy you have there, boy.
Nah, Fred go bring on the standard of your academy. Don't do with that.
Let me just get through the comments now. All right. Yeah. Kevin Williams saying here, Donny van de Beek will fit like gloves in the Barca team from years back with or even Pep City.
I don't know about that.
That you working, boy. That you working.
Anderson saying, if teams like Villa and Brentford can boss on midfield, that shows how poor these guys are. No doubt. I fully agree with that. All right, I'm doing saying here, Pep, Klopp, even Chelsea. Get Beak and you'll see the difference. Intelligent players around him, intellectual players like himself will flourish. Yeah, but when you watch how Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho just play, I telling you Van de Beek go 15 day normal.
Nah, them fellas watch.
Although don't get me wrong, you know, I ain't saying that Van de Beek will go in there and style, but saying he'll get more game time because of his style. He playing like among light players.
You can't call Klopp in that because the kind of high intensity Klopp does play with. I don't think Van de Beek could run so much as them play.
So Liguez can get sweat. Can barely get sweat for Chelsea. You tell me Van de Beek going to get a sweat?
Nah.
Yeah.
Phil, you were saying something?
No, but Ten Hag displayed almost the exact same formula at Ajax as well too. So when Ajax had Van de Beek, De Jong, De Ligt, and those guys that were doing well in Europe for Ajax, they were playing that sort of high level pressing football as well too, you know. But they also focused on possession as well, and they focused on productive possession, not like Man United who focused on unproductive possession, passing back the ball, pass it to the side, back, left, right, left. Like this is military, right? So now Donny Van de Beek, if he had to play in a system where it will suit him, like Donny Van de Beek, I think will suit well in Manchester City. He will suit well in Dortmund. He will suit well, and the person mentioned Barcelona under Pep. I think Donny Van de Beek would have excelled in that system as well too.
Yeah. All right. So guys, before I come to Callum, right? Because we want to get Callum thoughts on the discussion.
You're going to talk about Fred.
We just want to get a word from our sponsors, right? So, all of we getting sponsored. It come up?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. We're sponsored tonight by Pro Glue Collision Center. Contact Pro Glue for all your collision centers in a Ringwest Village. There's a number below. There you go. Pro Glue Collision Center services auto body repair and refinishing, muffler repair, replacement of auto body parts, windscreen replacement, quotation figures, etc. Call 317-2599. That's 317-2599. That's 306 I repair Road Select. Pro Glue Collision Center.
Well
Yeah,
done,
and you could
Callum.
also WhatsApp, definitely. And you could also WhatsApp 721-7368. Yeah.
All right. So that was a word from our sponsors, guys. We do appreciate it. And if you know anybody else that's willing to, chuck in, and we gotta appreciate it as well, right? Because it costs to do things on this platform, all right? So Callum, welcome to the show. It's been a while.
All right, let me get straight into it. All right, but all the fun about Fred, I was really Fred like Guyanese, but seriously speaking, they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Okay, so let's look at it that way. Every manager since his early, even when Carrick had a small stint, even Jose to an extent, and now we see Ranmik, they always play two defensive midfielders in Manchester, Fred and McTominay. They are probably the first two names on the team sheet. So, besides Cristiano Ronaldo and Bruno. Look around the team sheet. Those are the two guys, Fred, McTominay, Cristiano Ronaldo, and De Gea. You know, they are the men. As managers, these guys are we are talking football. No, we are being pundits. You know, all of us have our expertise, but we can't pretend we know more than these guys at the highest level of world football. We have to give them respect. So they all have to be consistently seeing something in Manchester United team that justifying playing Fred. You know what I like Fred? Nobody in the right mind can like Fred, but they are seeing something in the team that they need Fred for. And what I am saying they are seeing is this. We are very weak in all the centre backs, or two centre backs. Our pairing is terrible.
Even with Lindelof and Varane?
Maguire. Honestly, you're gonna laugh at me. I'm gonna say I'm crazy, but I'm saying it. After what I saw of Phil Jones, I would play Phil Jones and Varane right now. And the reason I would say that Phil Jones showed
Callum.
no, I'm actually
going good enough. You was going good.
When you finish, I will say something.
Listen, I want to ask, can any of you criticize Phil Jones one game he played?
No.
You only play one game?
Yeah, but it's one game, Callum.
All of United gave Phil Jones for any match.
For aside Phil Jones for a while, let me put aside him. I would definitely play Varane. Even and if Barty's back, I like Barty. But we all, and here this thing, we all on the panel are agreeing here that we will not play Maguire.
Nice.
So we are
everybody.
So we are seeing
Across the
the
board.
bulk of the game. So we are seeing already where one of the weaknesses in our team is our two centre backs. Then our two wing backs are lacking quality. Each one of them, the most consistent we had for a while was Luke Shaw. You know, he had a magnificent Euro Cup, and I don't know if he burnt himself out. And since he's come back, all of his previous shortcomings, which Jose was rightfully pointing out, are showing back up now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Saka, we have always said from day one, he has nice spirit. We like his vibes, but he's really and truly not Manchester United quality because he will do good in a dogfight. But when we say with quality team, especially at this league at that top level, when teams have found him out and they know he's positionally atrocious, not bad, atrocious. Because every time but also I still believe the centre backs look closely when Manchester United plays. Every time a ball goes on wide, what we call last post, always find the defenders always be tucked inside. You know why? Because our wing backs don't trust our centre backs. They go to help the mark. Even our defensive midfielders, if you look closely, when the ball goes wide, they always tend to find themselves down inside the penalty area or by penalty for trying to help. Because why? They don't have faith in our centre backs. And if you intend to be the biggest team in the world and compete for the biggest titles, your two centre backs must be able to play very comfortably one-on-one. Do you see anybody going to help Liverpool's what's his name?
Van Dijk.
Help me out here, Liverpool's
Van Dijk.
centre back, the big one.
Van Dijk.
Somebody else. Van Dijk. You see anybody going to help Van Dijk? At Man City, Diaz and Cancelo and those guys, they play stones. They play by themselves. If it's two strikers, two of them have to do the job because football 11v11. But we compensate so much for two weak centre backs. It affects the whole team. Now, that being said, as we play two central midfielders, we are effectively playing one man down. Because when we go into attack, there's not a question of Fred or McTominay or Matic, but they don't have the quality again going forward. Matic don't have it again. Fred never had it. Most of them do have it going forward. So we are literally shorter man in attack. And even in defense, Lion use a man play plenty football. You know, we'll go plenty training sessions. When you're playing forwards and backs, no matter how many extra defenders the coach add into the forward and back, the offense always be on top. Because why? You keep getting back the ball and you get to try again. So even if 6 men attacking plays against 25 men defending, eventually you're going to get the ball in back of the net. And that's what happens to Manchester United. We dominate a lot of possession against the quote-unquote lower teams. But look at our passes. Across, back. That's why when Randy came inside, they play the 4-2-2-2-2 to force to eliminate our width and force the people to play the ball forward. You know, so he has to change now. So we just simply do have the quality to play the ball forward. As simple as that. So
But
we are suffer greatly from simple quality. And how do we know we have a lack of quality? Look through our teams at our international players. And here he's still injured here to me, but he can't make Spain team right now. Yeah, I mean, catch back
Not
before,
right
but
now.
before
He might make
his form was
He
so
might
bad
make
that he
it
could
now.
make Spain team. Maguire,
He might make
but I don't know what he is. I mean, so England, God bless his soul. Van Bissaka can't even smell England team. No way.
He should have go
But that he
after.
there.
but hear this, right?
Look
Hear
sure.
this.
How we gonna make it now? How Van Bissaka make an England team now?
Callum,
Nah,
No, he should have
I don't
go
understand that statement.
AFCON. He should have
He
picked
not-
out
he
this
not-
Congo.
he England team.
Represent Congo.
Yeah, he should have represent Congo.
you all hearing me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you. Yeah.
All right. Callum touch on something that I want to
Preserve the boy alone.
I want to bring in, right? Callum was talking about the formation that Ralph had set up when he just came in, and that was the 4-2-2. And through the time so far, it's about 6 weeks that Ralph here, he went with a back three. He toyed with different systems, right? And yesterday he kind of told the media that their decision is to adopt the 4-3-3, right? And I want to ask you all, and I think Callum, you would have alluded to it, right? But let me just get a discussion on it. With Ralph's decision to adopt the 4-3-3 system, what does this mean, right? And the reason why I ask, does it mean that he realized that the players just not good enough to play the 4-2-2? And because he is so he has that kind of understanding of the 4-2-2, do you all think that he should have just insisted with it going forward? You all think he's right to change to the 4-3-3? Do you think if he'd stick a little bit longer with the 4-2-2, we might have see something happening, because we realize this one striker thing? A lot of teams going back to 2 strikers, right? Some teams playing 4-4-2, some teams playing 3-5-2, because we see with a single striker, this lone striker now, they kind of getting isolated out of games now. So what are your thoughts about his decision to say, well, okay, we're going to adopt now the 4-3-3 going forward?
Honestly, I don't think we have good enough quality players to play that formation, that 4-2-2-2, because there's a high energy formation, and you had to be a team to play that, right? And for a while now, we don't have a team. We had players and individual talent, but we don't have a team. I think, as Callum says, he changed up that formation to protect the back line. This is a problem we've been having even under Ole, because the centre-back pairing wasn't good enough. But I think with Varane and Lindelof, they need time. Sometimes our partnership needs time to develop. And today they were very good, in my opinion, right? And all we're missing, and we've been crying out for, is a defensive midfielder. And that could solve that problem. And then we could play a 4-2-3-1 or whatever. We could mix it up.
But that 4-2-2-2, we saw it for the first time being played versus Crystal Palace, and I told myself, well, maybe we will continue this on to the end of the season. But that wasn't the case. We actually had to change it up, because we had to revert back to what the players were comfortable of, and that didn't make any sense, because the previous way wasn't working. The previous way was going to Solskjaer fired. So why revert back to that way, right? This 4-3-3 that Ralph is looking to play, my worry is the one person sitting in front of the defense. That person has to be so calm. That person has to be so disciplined. That person has to be able to break up play. That person has to be able to transition the ball from defense to the 2-8s that are looking to create as well. Too,
what
right?
are you saying? That person has to be everything at Fred, isn't then?
But Fred is not a defensive midfielder.
Fred not a footballer.
Oh, come on, man, Callum.
Come on, Fred making Brazil. Fred, come on, you had to be doing something right to be making Brazil.
No, but
Look at Copa America, and every single game without failure that Fred played, they take him off.
No, but
Yeah,
But he
Ollie,
I watch
starts.
every
Ollie,
game.
fellas,
But
listen, all
he
right?
start the point.
Phil,
That's the point.
Phil was making a point, and I want him to finish the point he was making because I think that's where we could go with this discussion. Go ahead, Phil. I don't know if
Yeah,
you was-
because I mean, like, no, because we don't have. Let's be real. We don't have a natural DM right now. We only have Matic, and Matic can't play a full 90 minutes, right? That's where you're asking for the likes of, let's say, Basuma, Neves, Declan Rice. Even before Saul went to Chelsea, people were calling for Saul to come. We're linked with Dennis Zakaria. All these are names who can play that natural number 6 position. Sit in front of the defense and be comfortable, right? But also the 2 number 8s, right, or the deep line number 10s, if you want to call it that, right? They have to have the ability to, one, communicate with each other, and two, communicate with the forward line as well too, right? You got to ask yourself, do we have the players that are disciplined to play those 2 positions? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's definitely we didn't have the players for that system, and I think, and when I say the players, I mean the midfielders that play that system. And I think that is where we continue to lack in quality in terms of the midfield quality. If it's simple as David here, he has faced the most shots right in the entire Premier League, right? And to me, that would have stemmed from no protection starting. Well, yes, we just say defending start from the forward line, right? But to me, that is a blatant um, highlight that our midfield is like a strainer, right?
Yeah.
Because our defenders does be stretched almost every time because there's no protection from the midfield, right? And to me, that is what we had to get right. If we get the quality in the midfield right, it's possible that the 4-2-2-2 could work. But until then, we need the extra protection because the midfielders we have at the moment, they're just not good enough. And look and from of recent as Ralph has came in, you saw that difference with McTominay. You're seeing now where McTominay is actually taking responsibility. Where McTominay is taking the ball and moving into space and trying to create something, right? He's getting more aggressive in the middle of the field, as we saw in the second half today, right? In the first half, I don't know what was going on. We was losing every second ball, right? The second half was totally different, and he was aggressive, and he also pushed the team forward by moving into space with the ball, moving forward. And if we get players with that natural ability to be aggressive and to go forward with the ball, then I think we could implement any system. But until then, we had to go with extra protection for the defensive line.
So Lion, based on what Nico and Phil saying, right? Because you remember we when 4-2-2, that was against Crystal Palace, and we get hyped, we get glad. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, real nice. And then that was the end of that. I was never, I never saw anything, that, made me be inclined to seeing the 4-2-2 again, right? And Nico and Phil say it, the players that we have at our disposal now going to the 4-3-3 now. Do you think that after today, probably when we meet a better team, that we might be calling for a next formation?
No, I think what the players we have at the moment suit this formation best. And if we get outplayed in this formation, then we just simply not good enough.
The 4-2-2-2 or the 4-1-3?
The 4-3-3.
4-3-3.
Go ahead, I'm Lion.
But you could definitely see that Ragnick willing to try different things during the game. And this is what got Brentford coach mad. Because he said you change your tactics during small Brentford. Right? So he changes the style in the team during the game. And okay, well, I think it's when Maguire came on, he gave Bruno a note. And that's when they change up the tactics.
Yeah,
so it's a good thing to see that. I think
right there. You notice what they do as Maguire come on the field? They put 5 in the midfield. It wasn't by chance to protect him. It's sad. No, really. There's this this picture going around where they're saying Ralph told the board that Shaw, Wan-Bissaka,
Brian Wan-Bissaka. Yeah.
that is a makeup thing. But I actually really because is it true?
Yeah, it's really true, but I feel like makeup thing because
I feel that
was real rough in the cap if that is true. Right?
But
But
in general,
yeah, what that?
In general, Maguire needs a protection. Huh?
Pep in your face, you ain't good. Not even a little bit. And I did it. Great Alex Ferguson. He afraid to somebody ain't good. Honestly speaking, left up to me, if I was coaching, I know I have outlandish ideas. I would play 4-2-2. And here's why I would play 4-2-2. I mean 4-4-2, sorry. The reason I play 4-4-2, everybody has to think first of all my team, 2 centre back, a centre back pairing. If it don't work, I'll move you out and get somebody else. Or it will be a wing back and a winger, or you figure it out together. In the middle of the park, after 2 midfielders, both are defend, both are attack. And that's one of the big problems we have. We have defensive midfielders and we have attacking midfielders. And these attacking midfielders like Bruno and them feel defense is an option. And Fred
I wouldn't say that about Bruno.
That changed. That changed.
Bruno is one of the players that does run back. Eh?
No.
He does get back. Okay.
Please don't mistake getting back and running for defending. I'm real serious now.
Callum, I would not agree with you because Bruno is a player that could play in the 8, he could play in the 10, and Bruno does give that effort. He mightn't play good all the time, but he does give the effort in the middle. He would go back.
I said, do not mistake effort for defending. I am not supporting this effort. As a matter of fact, I think most Manchester United players give a maximum effort. But at that level, effort and defending properly is 2 different things. Let's go back to the one game Phil Jones played. I just use an example, it comes fresh in my mind. It was terrible defending. Phil Jones went up and headed that ball straight back on top of the 8 defense area. And secondly, McTominay, who was supposed to be covering that area, went straight inside the penalty area and in between the centre backs to do God knows what. So we often mistake effort and running back for proper defending, and the amount of goals we are conceding clearly shows we are not defending as a team properly.
That comes down to ability, right? Because if you cannot, if you could,
Phil, yeah, don't unmute your mic.
I see where Callum is coming from because you don't have to run back to defend. You can defend from the front, right?
Yeah, I understand that, but it comes down to ability because even if you're trying to defend and you cannot defend, it comes down to ability.
But there's so many times that Bruno does not need to run all the way back to defend. You know, there are times where he does, but there's some times where you just wasting energy for the sake of it.
Because look at it. Football, as we know, is time and space. When you are playing in the number 8 or in number 10 or whatever the case may be, and you run straight back into a penalty area to defend, who is defending in the middle third? So when the ball goes back on top of the penalty area, when you down inside there against quality players, people could shoot the ball, who could pick a pass. When you should have just simply picking up space, sometimes you don't need to actually physically put in a tackle to defend.
Right now, when Bruno goes to the penalty area to defend, that means whoever is on top goal come in the number 10 position, which means which means the opposition defenders have the ability to move forward. This
was one of the problems with the team not playing like a team. We're not defending as a team. And we're not attacking as a team.
When Ralph told us that Gen Press was supposed to fix that was supposed to be the quote-unquote solution to us defending as a unit. Because
I think today I saw some of that, you know. Today I saw some more effort in playing as a team.
If it is not like the Crystal Palace game, then I don't want to hear it. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't see much of that today. Now, but anyway.
So let me get some comments, right? Eric Lewis, thanks for joining, man. He's saying, can't believe Man United PR posted that Donny has made 50 appearances. The shameless.
I want to talk about that. I was so disgusted by that. Bringing on Donny Van de Beek.
Was it true that appearance could be on the bench too?
Hey,
Donny Van de Beek.
Let's celebrate Phil Jones' 10th anniversary, boy.
Phil Jones even get a testimonial.
Look here, what you say. I love Phil Jones.
Nicky Rampasad, good evening, buddy. Thanks for joining. He said no disrespect, but having 8 shots against us in the first 35 minutes not acceptable.
Correct.
Of course, yeah, it isn't.
And that is my point. Men like women like numbers don't. We don't defend properly as a team.
Midfield to me, and the midfield, I come out to the midfield because
And
every
in
second
midfield,
ball
we need
Brentford winning.
we need a better
Every
midfield,
second
we
ball
know that.
Brentford winning,
Right.
and it's bad pass again from the midfield. Right?
I
And it's
don't know.
counter attack on the skin.
Let me queue in here. Let's use. You remember the Barcelona team under Pep when they had the two bombing backs, which was Dani Alves and I forget the next guy next side. Puyol, I believe, right?
No,
Right.
no.
Nah.
Jordi
Alaba was there
Jordi,
too. Yeah.
Jordi Alba, Eric Abidal, and
Abidal,
That was,
maybe.
Right. But the point is, if you understand that team, or not the formation, the system, the moment the ball broke down, Messi and whoever on top, I think it was Villa was on top with him. Their job was to funnel the ball wide into a blocking, not to just run down the ball. If you look at that team, the moment they break down, they went to their trap. Liverpool, Man City, people notice the moment the ball breaks down, whichever the weaker side of the field is, they protect that side and they put in a corner and they swarm and take the ball. It's a simple. Now ask the question: do you see Manchester United having a plan, even though work when the ball breaks down?
Nope.
I'm not talking about effort. I'm talking about can you see a clear plan on the field? Liverpool.
Nope.
I find a recent I seen a little plan, but still, I'm waiting to see it more. I waiting to see it more. But on that neck, I seen a plan because I seen how the strikers on top defending from the front, as you see, how they positioning themselves to allow the play to go a certain way for players to come and press. And I have seen that for the last few games. You just see it consistently now.
I ain't seen that game. What is that certain way? I like to know, what is that certain way?
No, like a certain direction. So let me say according to, if you have an overload on the side, we would force the play on that side so they could press to try to win the ball. It don't always work because sometimes it don't always work because sometimes some of them midfielders more intelligent than ours. So them go hit a quick little turn and then bust through that and gone.
Yeah, 1-2, easy 1-2. Yeah,
right, and then we are under pressure. But they're trying.
I agree with you, but so you understand, it's not about effort. It's about defending properly.
But Callum, you're talking here and see the game today.
No, I told you you're coming to the effort. It's not about
right. So we're talking about you and watch the game.
I never told a lie.
Yeah, but we telling you asking him man, but what he see, but you ain't see the game.
But never ask him what you see. I never.
No. I just listen to argument by saying, but
no argument.
See today game.
No argument.
I asked a question.
No. Understand what I'm saying?
Fair enough. But
I know where you're coming from, but that's it.
It's not parliament. I'm not opposed to take our post. I ask a question.
No, brother.
But that's what we're talking about, Kyle. That's what we're trying.
I'm just gonna comment here, guys. Akira, thanks for joining, buddy. He's saying, well, our midfield is counterproductive. We have 2 defensive midfielders and Brentford got so many shots. It's about setting traps, positioning more important than tackling. I'm picking football intelligence over effort and energy. Yeah, fully agree.
Yeah,
you guys, that was spot on.
Positioning is a thing.
I just glad he didn't put at the end of that free Donny van der Beek. That's all I got.
One thing I noticed. One thing I noticed about Scott game. He probably improving on it, but he don't like to show any space at all for that ball. He would let players be in front of him. He don't show.
He took responsibility today, which was
second half.
You know, small goal players make a pass and watch what's going to have wrong them. He's making passes and pictures. And that's why he stopped the centre back to it because he want to push forward automatically. And I still don't understand how he's a mainstream midfield. I tell you, I would have said it too long. That's why I would play Van der Beek. I would have died with Van der Beek. Then you're off next
You
week.
end up like Oli. You end up like Oli. It's like how Oli was dying with Maguire, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, and the rest. You end up the same way.
So guys, I want to change direction because looking at the time, right? And I just have one more thing I want to talk about.
Yes, President Brazil. Right.
You all, I know you all would have seen it because the media have this tendency that they like to focus on zero in on what will make news, right? So Cristiano Ronaldo was substituted today. I can't remember what time. I don't know if it was 70-something minutes, and he was clearly upset, right, at being substituted. So I just want to get your thoughts on the decision to substitute Ronaldo, 1, and 2, his reaction to the substitution. Anyway,
Ralph Pony big boy pants, right? And let Ronaldo know who is boss. The thing is though, is if he do that second time, right? That is why I wanted. So after Ronaldo's performance today, I want to see if we're in a position, right, as we were today, if Ralph would do it again, or with the tantrum Ronaldo would have thrown, if from then Ralph would say, well, all right, is Ronaldo I taking him off, But it was I saw no issue with that. I thought it was a very intelligent decision, knowing that Cavani injured, right? You just come off an injury. We winning the game 2-0. We need the fresh legs, right? Because Brentford, we clearly saw Brentford tiring. And also, Brentford would have considered late goals against Liverpool, right? So with saying that, it has spaces open up and a faster player could possibly take advantage of these spaces opening up, which we saw happen when Rashford came on and scored the goal. So again, go ahead, Phil.
No, just to add to what Nico said, you got to zero in on the type of injury Ronaldo had as well. So it's a hip injury. Hip and knee injuries are the most difficult injuries to recover from. Okay, yeah, Ronaldo recovered from the hip injury, right? But we need Ronaldo fresh as hell for the Champions League, which is next month. If Ronaldo had stayed on for that extra 15 or 20 minutes, right, and something happened to his hip, he dislocated the hip. You know how long he could be out for?
Yeah.
Kevin, say,
stop it now.
You're playing now, man, boy.
Hey.
I agree with Kevin,
man.
Before I come to Lion, we just get some of the comments, right? Dwayne saying here, passion man wanna play every minute, win a mentality at 36. Exactly, went down to 10 men. Well, I think the Maguire substitution he's talking about here. Mickey Rampasad saying best decision to take him off, his attitude, don't really care. Dwayne saying here needed to safeguard him. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all. Kevin saying here, who wants to be subbed? Maguire. Yeah, go ahead, fellas.
Sometimes I just wonder if Ronaldo, if it's because he wants to win or because he just wants to score.
That is it. I think that is it.
Come off.
Like he just wants to score.
Yeah, the manager could tell you, come off. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that player showing a little tantrum because he wants to play. Nothing wrong with the passion he wants to play. As long as he do it with a keeper, I have no problem with him.
True.
Come off, push your face long, do all you want. Fine.
But you know what? You know what I saw that I didn't hold anything against that. When Rashford scored, Ronaldo celebrated.
Okay,
right?
I didn't see that.
Nah, he didn't celebrate. He kind of halfway clapped. I see it. He didn't celebrate.
But he didn't.
It's funny because when Rashford scored,
for Ronaldo,
the camera's been on Ralph talking to Ronaldo.
Correct.
Yeah, but right after he started clap and he shake his head,
Okay,
yeah.
but
because Ralph had to explain to him.
I talk about the goal. He celebrated.
That's it. Because he said it in the press conference. He said he explained to Ronaldo why, and then when Rashford scored, he explained to
Justify
my guys.
it.
Watch it over now. He
You should not tell him that.
He didn't clap about what Ralph tell him. He clapped about Rashford's.
No, I didn't say he's crap about what Ralph tell him. I'm just saying. But my point is, right?
I was jealous.
Callum, does a manager have to go through all of that explanation because Ralph went into detail explaining his decision to take off Ronaldo? A manager has to be so accountable to a player because he's not going to do it for any other player, you know.
I made their pressure too, man.
Ronaldo too. And all the United. Yeah, Ronaldo, he is arguably the best player in the world. So, yeah, management take a 5 minutes and explain to him. I have no problem with that.
Alright.
Kevin Williams saying we just praise Ronaldo for that mentality, but crucify Greenwood for the same. Yeah.
Yo, but Greenwood is 20 years old. Now got the world ahead of him.
Sure.
Jody saying anyway, big everyone who captain Bruno. I didn't captain him, boy.
Wait, I think he became my captain. I put him back in the team.
I'm gonna change my team. But you know what I saw that when Maguire came onto the field, I was expecting Bruno to give him the captain armband because he didn't get it.
He gets it. No,
he didn't get it. Bruno keep it for the rest of the game.
Okay. I thought
check
he
it.
I thought he did get it.
That's normally you gotta see that.
The hair supposed to captain Manchester United. I don't even want Bruno the hair.
Hey Mickey, thanks for joining, man. Blessings to you too. Next one on Saturday. So fellas, we want to wrap it up, right? So let me just get some closing thoughts now. We have West Ham on Saturday. West Ham been dropping a lot of points lately earlier, right? So I feel we could do something. Anyway, closing thoughts. Go through. Anybody?
Yeah. To me, as much as the first half wasn't what we wanted, I was pleased with the performance, because for some reason I seen something other than nothing. Normally you're like, what is we playing? I can't understand what we're trying to do, And then for some reason I felt a bit of control within the game today, without really creating much, especially in the first half. I saw a bit of control. I saw like the team have an idea what they want to do. They may be not doing it yet, but they have an idea of what they want to do. And to me, that was kind of pleasing today. West Ham at home, I think the confidence within the squad is high. And I could only see us, going from strength to strength. The Tottenham result today, it could have been different.
Drama, boy.
Yeah. But from the performance today, I think I could only see us improving because simple as Ilanga getting more games under his belt, he could only get better. Right? He could only get better. Rashford wanting to come back into the team. When he come on, he's going to try harder. Lindelof and Varane, they wanted to maintain that partnership. So they are going to keep pressing to keep Maguire on that bench. Scott and Fred know when Pogba come back, one of them getting dropped. Them fellas are up the game. So I think that, I think we will see some improved performances. I'm hoping we see some improved performances. For the Villa game and for this game, I saw a little bit of consistency, not enough, but I saw enough to say, well, all right, I'm feeling like we're going places, and I think to me that is what most important. And I only could see 3 points at the weekend.
Yeah. Eric Lewis saying here, we need to put together a good 90 minutes back-to-back games. We only played good halves. Yeah. Kevin Williams saying against Villa, good first half. Against Brentford, good second half. Now against the Hammers, we won that good 90 minutes. You see, so you understand what is the recurring theme here, right?
Yeah.
He also saying free Donny from Raymond Yard. And Johnny saying free Donny Van der Beek.
Yeah, he going up MSP way. You talk about Raymond Yard, you end up in big jail, boy.
Go through, fellas.
Yeah, I mean, the result today definitely was a good result. It put a smile on our faces, as you can see on the panel, right? But the big question is, can we continue this type of performance going forward, right? West Ham are competing for top 4, so are we. right? So that's going to be a big game at Old Trafford, and West Ham are going to want revenge because don't forget we beat them 2-1 at it's not called Upton Park anymore. I think it's the Hammer
The
Hammer
Olympic
Stadium.
Stadium, the Olympic Stadium.
Olympic Stadium, right? That's yeah. We beat them there, right? So definitely want to see at least a good 90 minutes of football, right? This team so far, from what I've seen, they aren't built mentally to play two halves. It's almost like we play one half great, the next half disgusting, right? We can't do that versus West Ham because West Ham going to play great for 90 minutes. So let me see what this team can do for 90 minutes versus West Ham. I hope we get the 3 points and we move.
Yeah. Lion?
Yeah, I think we would do well against West Ham. I've seen some improvement in the team, so I think the fellas will be a little more confident going into the next game. I'm glad that Rashford got a goal.
Yeah.
Ilanga got 1-2, but I don't want to see Rashford starting. I want him to continue to fight. Yeah, we're going back with the same front three.
Could be same team.
Exact same team. I want players to know that they could be put on the bench at any time, right? So that they get back that fight to get into the team. And I think Ragnick, he doing a good job so far in instilling more confidence in the players.
Yeah.
Callum.
The most, when I look at the highlight of the game, right? I didn't see the game, but I look at the goals we scored, and then I look at the goal we conceded, and the most emotion I saw was on the game where we conceded, the goal we conceded. So I was glad about that. So that means to say that there's been a concerted effort to get our defensive football right. And I really do believe that all our problems are stemming from defense. I really do believe it's because we have concern about our centre-back pairings. We play the two defensive midfielders. So I'm really hoping that the two centre-backs can sort this stuff out to allow the coach to have more confidence to play the one defensive midfielder. So because I hear we keep talking about when Paul comes back. The decision to play Paul Pogba is not based on his ability, but what we could do because he is considered a luxury on the field. We all know how Paul plays. So let's hope by the time he does come back, and it should be in a week or two because he started back training and they say that you want to get him back in soon, that we are on a stage where we could play to one defensive midfielder. I think the moment we do that, the moment we see a different Manchester United, we wish the guys the best of luck. Hope they're healthy. I want to see everybody getting. I'm glad Ilanga get his chance. And just two things to say before I go. Praise not a Brazilian. And free Donny van der Beek. Free Donny van der Beek.
You should go Newcastle.
But I don't go, guys. I got one time. I ran away.
To weed out players.
Glory.
All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, Callum. Yeah. Kevin saying here we need to weed out the players who don't put confidence into the team. You know, the team was never confident in Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. Next up, this midfield, I will come Pogba back for however long it will be. All right. Eric Lewis saying my score predictions 2-1 win. Martial coming off the bench. I don't know why you put an emoji after. I feel like you know it's a genuine now, boy. Jody's saying here, like I said, we are going on a 15-game unbeaten run in the Premier League. 1 down, 14 more to go. Jody, I want you to do like Phil and pay your money there, right? Pay your money. So for me, one thing I noted is that West Ham hasn't been getting the results that would have them confident. But they look like a team that will grind and they will fight for the points. So I don't expect an easy game at all. But I know I'm also not expecting a high flying West Ham, right? And I really do think, the 3 points and the win against Brentford today will do us the world of good, right? I still kind of having a little issue with the fact that Edison Cavani can't stay fit for long because he missed today through injury. So it's like we can't rely on him, right? And I figure that is why Ragnick had to make decisions like taking Ronaldo off today because we had to preserve the players that we have, right? I'm still not too confident in the way we play. But once we could get the result, fellas, because it's our result, and where we at right now, are accepting results over performance. But it doesn't mean, that I don't want to see my team play better, right? But all I want is 3 points now. So I ain't mind. I could take. I ain't saying I will accept it, but I could take a bad first half and a better second half, like today. Once we win, right?
Yeah.
Dwayne saying here, I don't have confidence that we will win against West Ham. All right. Kevin Williams saying here, Marcel to score the winner in the UCL final rim. Run bareback long more Street if he did. Anyway, fellas. So it was nice. 3 points in the bag, fellas. I think we how much points off top for? I think 2 points or something. Because five points or 2 points.
But still, it's so messed up with the amount of games in hand, especially with Spurs and.
Spurs have plenty games on hand.
Yeah, we all over the place. It's all over the place.
Yeah. And I kind of banking on more draws for the teams that's ahead of us rather than teams winning and losing, because I know the draws will just make them 1 point ahead, 1 point easier to catch than 3 points. So the fact that Spurs win today wasn't too positive for me, nah?
True.
Anyway, guys, so we could be here again on Saturday to look back at the performance and results against West Ham. So, Phil, Lion, Callum, thanks guys for joining myself and Nico.
Good night.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we will see you on the next one. Have a good night.
Yeah.